Yeah.
All right. Okay, Aditya. Today we'll be doing planning. Just nice. Today is you by yourself with me. Then we can plan in great detail. That's what I'm hoping. Right?
Okay.
Whatever concerns you have regarding the questions or the topics, we'll cover it either tomorrow or on the holiday itself. Okay.
Okay. Is there going to be like a holiday lessons?
Yep, that's part of the planning, but that's my planning for you guys. I want to do your planning for yourself today, right? So let's go to the Jamboard. This one we will need a new one, right? Okay.
Okay, then I'll leave for my phone and join from my laptop. Just one second.
All right. Create a new Jamboard and name it Aditya Planning, right? So that you know where to refer. Share it with me and then tell me when it's done. I'll go get some water. Is it there, the new Jamboard? Okay. You're muted, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sharing it.
All right.
Done.
All right. Oh yeah, Aditya Planning. Right. Okay. You are the second Sec 3 student that I asked to do planning, right? The first one was Ainesh, but Ainesh need is totally different from most of us. He is under very tight constraints, and I mean time and energy, right? He has much more to catch up, right? You have more latitude, you have more freedom, and I certainly hope that means you have more enjoyment of your subject, right? Still, planning has some uses that I hope you will enjoy, right? So, the furthest I want to achieve with you, with planning, the furthest is to give you more things to do, or to even give you a list to do. I don't think that's called planning, right? At least I don't think so. That's the point. right? Even though the format will look like that. So that's just my quick intro on my understanding of planning. Are you a planning guy, Aditya?
Not really.
Then maybe my question will be like this lah to you, right? If you can do all your end of year, do you call it that way? End of year exam, right?
Yeah.
All right. If you can do all your end of year exam without planning, would you prefer to do it that way without planning?
No, because like now we can plan. So
No, sorry, because you think that now we have time to plan. Sorry, you're saying?
yeah, yeah.
Why would you think that planning is a kind of like a good idea right now?
Because it's like close to UI, and like it's gonna be hard without a plan.
You let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You don't think you can do it spontaneously, lah, so to speak, lah,
Yeah,
without some sort of good plan, lah, something like that, lah, something like that.
yeah.
May I know why you don't think that way?
Because I think I'll be all over the place, and like that's not very useful.
You're saying that you may do things haphazardly, kind of ish.
No, like I'll join a lesson, and then I'll spend like so long trying to decide what to do.
You okay. You are not a very decisive person in study. Sorry, is that what you're saying? Sorry,
Yeah,
is that you as Aditya, or it's just you and study?
it's sometimes it's like that.
In other aspects of life, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like I'm not the best at decision making.
From just what you shared with me, from what you shared with me, again, this is clearly not about to do a list. Like, it's not about that, at least not yet, right? You're saying that you are hoping for the plan to be a rather final decision making at the start, so that you can just follow and you don't have to decide along the way, something like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
That is like taking certain burden out of your back.
Yeah,
All right. That's not what other people think. And that's why it is important for you to share what you think, right? What are your hopes for this plan? I can assure you that's not what some other students think. And if I just pretend that everybody's the same, then sometimes what's the point of planning, right? Maybe there's some point in pretending that you're other people, but I'd rather not to do that, right? So what I'm trying to say is I am hearing your sharing, right? I'm taking notes. Okay, so I'm just writing something, right? And you tell me whether this is kind of what you're saying. Are you looking at the Jamboard? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Is this a good way of summarizing what you said?
Yeah.
All right. All right. What other things would you like to see out of planning?
Not sure.
Okay. Right. But are there other things?
Not really.
All right. I will put in my thoughts here. So because just now that was your thoughts, I think I can understand and I kind of agree with what you're saying, right? Planning helps us not to think too much on the go. I definitely like that aspect out of planning. To me, I enjoy that. Okay, that's the benefit I'm enjoying if I plan. This to me is an example of planning is not a to-do list, right? Now, this is my thought, so you can think about it for a while if you so wish, right? In planning, I believe we are deciding which sacrifice to make, not on the go usually. And therefore, depending on the sacrifice, we are deciding which benefit to aim for. Let me just give you an example. If I sacrifice my work, I'm working less, right? Actually, that's not a sacrifice. Sorry. As I am sacrificing my income, right? Does that make some sense to you? If I work less, I'm sacrificing my income. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why the heck would I want to do that, right? Nobody want to reduce their, income voluntarily. There must be a reason, right? So what would my reason be? Some other people will say the reason is so that I'm not so stressed. That's not my reason, but I can understand that, reducing workload is reducing stress. So I sacrifice my income for the sake of my mental health. That makes some sense, right?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm doing right now. I'm sacrificing my income for another benefit, which is to spend much, much more time with my young son, right? You can understand why I make that sacrifice, and it has some connection to the benefit that I'm aiming for, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So if I sacrifice time with my son, that's a different kind of sacrifice, correct?
Yeah.
Then what benefits am I aiming for? People don't just sacrifice time with their son voluntarily. What might be my aim in that case?
For more income.
Right. And why? Because no people make more income just for the sake of income one. It seems like that. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Right? Why would I want to make more income? I mean, you can just make a guess, right? I'm not doing that anyway, but you make a guess.
For your son.
For your, right. Parents don't usually think like that one. That one I can tell you. Parents usually don't think, I want to make more income for myself. Definitely not. But you can make another
No,
guess.
for your son. For your son.
Oh, for my son. I am sacrificing the time with my son for the sake of money for my son, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, getting there, but my son don't understand money He's too young. So go further. I want more money for my son so that
so that later you have more time with your son? No.
that doesn't make sense, right? because no, I know that's what Some people do, but if you actually want the time as a final product, you already have it right now. Why are you sacrificing that right now?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the part that doesn't make sense. Now, of course, people do that because of, I think, some other good reason. Again, I want more money to spend on my son because, or rather, to spend on what for my son? More toys? Do you see the disconnect or do you see the connection? Does it make a lot of sense for me to say I am sacrificing the time I have together with my son, so I'm getting away from my son so that I can buy him more toys? That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, at least to some people. Do you know why?
No.
Because young son, yeah, remember this young
Oh,
son,
because you might as well spend time with your son
then buying more toys. But the reason is because I should think that time is more valuable than toys. He would probably prefer that also. Young, no? Very young, you know.
Yeah.
Correct, right? That's why the sacrifice doesn't make sense, not because you cannot do it. You can sacrifice time for son in exchange of toys, you know, money, you know, more work, more money, more toys. But if the value is less than what you're sacrificing, what the heck am I doing? As an adult, I should be able to weigh the benefits, the pros and cons. That makes sense to you, yeah?
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be sacrificing something that is more valuable than the end product. Like, what nonsense? If you put in effort and then you get less, boom, right? Okay, kaboom, right? Okay, so it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, right? So planning is about this. It's about weighing the pros and cons of the options of sacrifice and therefore the options of benefit. Better make the right sacrifice for the sake of the right benefits, right? It applies to your study, it applies to my life, and I totally believe it applies to your life until the end of life. Please weigh these things properly in your heart. Right? So going back to your study. So this is what I mean by planning. Let's see whether I am theorizing too much, or let's see whether it makes some sense for you, right? Okay, so what are you aiming for?
Like my grade?
That's already, I don't want to assume that. I don't want to assume that you're aiming for grade just for the sake of grades. If you are, please tell me. Then I will act likewise lah. If your wisdom is until the level of grades, I will also accept that. Back to my question. What exactly are you aiming for?
Oh, so like in life.
If in life is too big, then I'll make it a bit shorter. If you wish, if you wish, yeah, you can go as big as you want. What are you aiming for throughout all this studying for the sake of end of year? Is there anything particular that you're aiming for?
Just like get like good grades for now.
Of course, getting good grades is great, right? Getting good grades is great.
Then
No, stop there for until you see the sacrifices you have to make lah. Then it may sound not so good, right? Who doesn't want more money? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But wait until you see the sacrifices you have to make and the benefits you get from the more money. That's the thinking part. That's the planning part. It's what I believe, right? You want good grades, of course. Why? And what sacrifices are you willing to make for the good grades? Just be clear, if you don't think you need to make any sacrifices, then of course go for good grades. Of course, go for it. I just don't think that it's usually the case. You understand me? Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So why do you want good grades?
So that I get into a good class next year.
You're talking
And
about you're talking about the year 4 good sorry, year 10 good class, huh? Sorry,
sorry,
what do you mean by good class? Sorry, I don't understand that.
like I think our classes change next year, but I'm not so sure.
You want to upgrade?
No, I
Okay.
mean I can't really upgrade because I'm already in triple science.
Okay, but you want to get into a good class? What does that? You can change
I think our
your
classes change next year. I think, but I'm not sure.
depending on your grades, probably.
Like
Kind of.
my bio class is gonna stay the same because it's all triple science kids.
Ah,
But
yeah,
the
yeah,
rest of
yeah.
the classes, I think it's gonna change.
Okay, all right. So I'll just put it there first, lah, right? Because I also don't know what's going on. As far as I can tell, for the local students, they don't have that option usually, right? Again, school dependent. Okay, good
But
class.
I'll have to ask because I'm not also that sure.
All right. So I'm just putting it there because you may want to aim for that. Who knows, right? All right, fine.
Mhm.
Yeah. Why? Why good class?
I don't know. I think this year some of the teachers like weren't really. I don't know how to say my type. I guess.
A better teacher. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. Okay.
Or not a
First,
better teacher, like a more suited teacher.
more compatible teacher.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That one I can understand. Right. More compatible teacher. That's the whole. Yeah. Why?
Sorry.
Yeah. Why do you want more compatible teacher?
I don't know. I feel like I'll learn better. You know.
Okay. Can learn better. Right. Okay. Getting somewhere. Yeah. Why?
So that I get like good grades in IG.
Okay. That's the IGCSE, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Still can follow. Why? You can stop anytime you want. I'm not saying that we must answer why every time. You can stop there if you so wish. But I'll keep asking why until you stop lah. Right? Why?
So that I I can get like the subjects that I want in IB.
That one I can follow. Okay. May I know your subject choice that you like?
I think I'll take HL Chem and HL Bio.
You want that because again, medicine study, doc. You want to be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Anything else that changes besides HL Chem and HL Physics? Bio. Sorry.
And then there'll be like HL Math.
Is that a choice or is that more like a requirement?
I mean, yeah, my parents would probably want me to take HL Math.
I suppose. Okay, you're right that those, especially, yeah, I mean, but the way I see your bio right now, at least I can believe that you want HL Chem lah, because HL Chem, every HL is no joke, but HL Chem, right, you better be
Yeah, I've
sure
heard
that
it's
you
quite
like Chem.
stressful.
Yeah, I mean, all HL is stressful lah, to be fair, but if you don't like HL Chem, right. HL math, I mean, it's arguable because most people have to take it. So it's like no choice. It's not like a choice. It's like more no choice. So people suffer through it. If they don't like, they still have to suffer through it. But HL chem is a choice. It's a suffering that you choose. Right? Choose wisely. Choose wisely your suffering, which is about the same thing as choosing your sacrifice. Right? So okay. So
Like
do we
last year,
Mhm.
my like I didn't want to take physics at all. I
Yeah.
am not a physics person.
Right.
But my parents were like, it will benefit you and whatnot. So I was like, fine, I'll just take physics.
You do not want triple science. You did not want triple science.
I mean, I didn't know what I wanted.
Fair. So
Like until the moment I clicked the button, I was still
yeah,
like, should I? Because I heard that a lot of people, like, there's this guy
Mm-hmm.
in, I think he's in year 6 right now. He took sports sciences
Yeah.
because he also wants to do medicine.
Yeah, yeah.
And, like, they teach more of the human body kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he wanted to be, like, ahead of the med school students,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of taking IGP,
What's that?
IGCSE PE, physical education.
IGCSE. Sorry, what? What? What?
Physical education.
Oh, there is such thing. All right, wonderful. Uh-huh.
But my parents were like, no, take physics and A
Mm.
math. Because
Mm.
if you take triple science, A math is like part of the package.
Yeah, yeah. No choice again. It's
And
a
I
big.
wasn't like very keen on
Yeah.
taking A math.
Yeah. 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 Thus the tuition.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm here to relieve you of your suffering.
Yes.
Um,
I think. Kind
I
of.
think kind of, I suppose. Um, well, is that the past story, or right now you still think that physics is not your choice?
I mean, I mean, I get like decent in physics because
Mm-hmm.
it's not really that hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's just math. It's like remember two formulas and you're good to
Mm-hmm.
go kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
not really like worked up about physics.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Your parents wanted you to take physics because it gives you more choice
In
in
the
the future.
future because they were saying that medicine was going to be really hard, and if I ever like change my mind, then options will still be there. And also, I
Mhm.
would learn how X-rays work and stuff,
How what? Sorry, how what?
how X-rays and
Work and
stuff.
stuff. You will learn that in
Like
HL physics. Sorry.
yeah, I have no idea.
Right, right,
They
right.
just like were like take it. And I was like, but I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah.
take it. Okay, I'll
Okay,
take it.
okay. Take it. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you click the button,
Yep.
and you have been living with regret ever since.
Not really.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay.
I don't really regret a lot of things I do unless they're really embarrassing.
Mm,
Like you could say I pretty much don't care.
mm.
And another thing is that I don't think before I do things, which is also not a good thing.
What? You what?
I don't really think things through before I do them.
But it sounds like you were thinking about your future recently, like, still, right?
Not thinking about my future, no. Thinking about my social life.
What do you mean? Being a if
Like
you
I
want
don't
to
know.
do medical studies, that's considered thinking about the future, huh?
Sorry?
If you say that you want to try for medical studies, that's thinking about your future, huh?
I mean that was I haven't like thought about my profession and all that stuff since this like the middle of last year.
This part I don't get. Wait, wait, wait. Wait. Okay, wait. Okay, right.
Like I was I when the subject like selection was announced,
Mhm.
I didn't know what I wanted to be.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
And like you know the TV show Good Doctor?
Oh, which one? The Korea one or the American one?
The both like they're on Netflix.
You watch both, the Korean one and the
I
American?
watched the
Really?
American one first, then I
Oh,
watched the Korean one.
which is the derivation of the Korean one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only watched the Korean one. So you're saying?
Yeah, so I used to watch that a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, it would be great if I was a surgeon. So my parents also thought like I might not stick with that idea.
Okay.
So they said like, are you sure? Are you sure? You just want to take physics and chem and bio?
Hmm.
So I think it was like more like I thought I would take triple science because I like science more than I like any other subject.
Hmm.
So but like it was like they wanted to make sure like if plan A doesn't work out, there's always a plan B. Because
Hmm.
physics isn't really that bad. If I don't make it in like if doctor doesn't work out, maybe like engineer or
Hmm.
because I used to do coding,
Hmm.
like basic stuff.
Hmm.
I applied for like uh SST,
Hmm.
so like software engineer,
Hmm. How did that work
and
out?
I used to the SST like I barely made it, but I felt like if I took SST, then I really wouldn't have much of a choice for a career.
Sorry, what? Oh, because they want you to choose at the start,
Yeah, SST is like triple science all the way.
but that triple science means you have a lot of option at the end. Wait, what does that mean?
No, but like they teach triple science and
Mm-hmm.
um they they have a lot of classes for coding and
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
like JavaScript writing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So by the time you graduate, you'll basically be ready to be an engineer or an architect
Really,
or like a
SST,
designer.
SST is that focus, so to speak. Really.
Yeah. And I was like, it's not for me.
Mm. Because they don't, they don't do biology and anatomy and stuff lah.
Yeah.
They don't. Fine, yeah. Yeah, I suppose they are sticking to their namesake, right? I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. Fair, fair. Okay, I understand. Understand. Hmm.
So like for the options, I gave up on like SST. Didn't think it
Hmm.
would be for
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
anyways, I barely made it. And like I was like in the top 50%.
Hmm.
So even if I did say yeah, I would like to join the school, I probably wouldn't make it.
Hmm. True, they are slightly crazier than the average. True. So your reasons to go there must be clear lah. That one is that one is good if people have. Okay, so in this case, your sacrifice was triple sign, right? The benefit, don't know who is aiming for, huh? But somebody is aiming for more options in the future, or your plans, your people, your parents put it as plan A, plan B lah. Don't just have one plan, right?
Yeah, because I had no idea what I wanted to do. And at the time, like my math was
Mm-hmm.
not very great because
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was my attitude to learning because I didn't do
Mm-hmm.
much of the homework that term.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like concerned
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, so just take triple science in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me put it another way then. The benefit that you guys are aiming for is not having to know what you will be doing right now. I mean, in the future, right? You don't have to know what you have to. You don't have to decide your future right now. That's the benefit, look.
Yeah.
Because if you have decided your future, if that is ever possible, right? I'm not saying that that's possible. Then you don't have to pay the price of triple science, right? You don't have to,
Yeah.
right? So not
Like
knowing, yes, you're saying.
my friend Angus, he knows he
Mm.
wants to be an engineer.
Mm.
So he took physics and chem.
Yeah, why bother with bio? Simple, right? Simple lah. Simpler life lah. Fair, right?
Yeah, and
Right.
my other friend, Brian, he wants to be a, like, I forgot what it is called, like a biochemist or something. I don't know, like
Yeah, must be a
biology
biochemist. Yeah, must be.
experiment person.
Mm-hmm.
So we took bio and chem
Mm-hmm.
for that reason.
Simple life, right?
And
Simple life.
like half the people in triple science
Mm-hmm.
have zero idea what they want to do when they grow up,
So just take everything
but are
long.
like capable to do triple science, so they took it.
They still pay for something. Just to be clear, right? You're the ones going through all this, right? So you were paying something,
Yeah,
for the sake of not knowing what you want to do,
yeah,
which is to have some sort of insurance, right? Okay. I'll wait finding out about myself. I'll wait until later. Right now, I'll just pay the price, something like that, right?
yeah.
Right. Judging from your subject choice in IB, right? You have decided on certain things. You have.
Yeah.
Right? You have decided that physics is not going to continue, but math has to continue.
I mean,
Whatever.
I'll take standard level physics.
Ah, yeah. So you are still a triple science student in the end. In the end.
Yeah.
Right. I see. So nothing changes since our first discussion. I can
Like,
always,
I don't think there's like a HL and SL for like sport science.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what?
I don't think there's a HL and SL for sport science.
Oh, I have no idea. I wish I know it. You're saying that you're saying that sports science must be HL? Sorry, what are
For
you saying?
sport science, yeah, there's a SL and a HL.
So you want sports science to be part of your choice?
Probably take it in SL
Only SL, right? Understand? Only SL.
because, well, I don't think anyone will take sports science in like in HL other than a few people.
Yeah, which really know that that's what they want. Right? Again, fair. Only very few people will know
Like
that that's what they're aiming for.
my one friend wants to be a physiotherapist.
Yeah. So
So
obviously, right? Obviously,
yeah,
science, right? Obviously, and obviously bio, right? And obviously physics. By the way, it's obvious.
yeah,
It must be bio, sports science, physics, HL. Then everything else can be SL if they are allowed to. Usually they don't. Right? Usually they still say you must take math. So, okay, too bad.
don't know why it's compulsory to take math.
HL math. Why don't I just leave it as L math? Right? I No, I have no comment on that. I really have no comment. Understand?
Sorry.
So what are the sacrifice? I mean, I'm happy with the why, right? We can go further, but unless you want to go further, I don't feel the need for the why. Right?
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
I searched it up
Mm-hmm.
and sports, exercise, and health science is physiology, biomechanics, psychology, and nutrition.
Which means what was sorry, then it
And
means
sports,
what?
exercise, and health.
Yeah. I mean, is that the curriculum? Is that the syllabus or is that
That's
something
like
else?
what's going to be teach.
Yeah. A mixture of physics, biomechanics with biology, right? And
Yeah.
mostly bio stuff, right?
Yeah.
Don't
No
mind all that.
surprise.
Right? No, not surprised. Right? Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Right?
And I will most definitely not be taking English
Oh, right.
because I don't want that extra headache. Useless. No need.
You mean literature, right? Not English. You mean literature, right?
No, I mean, yeah, literature.
Yeah, there's no English in IB. There's literature, right? Or,
Yeah.
translation, that kind of
But
stuff.
I will have to take a mother tongue, so Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not part of
Mm-hmm.
the sixth subject, right?
Um, because you have 7, right? You have 7. So I'm not sure if you can forego your so quote unquote English, but and again, I'm not sure whether you can forego your mother tongue. For the locals, they cannot. They have to take the upgraded English. That's called a general paper, lah. So it's an argumentative essay writing. That's their English, though, right? That's the minimum English they must take.
I
Then they
mean,
also have to take mother tongue, but that's for
like
locals.
by the time I'm in IB, I'll probably get PR. Like I think
You probably get, sorry, what?
PR,
PR. Yeah, but you're still
permanent
studying
resident.
in an international school.
Yeah, but my parents like will apply for PR.
Will
Like they have applied, but we haven't got it yet.
no, great, but you're still studying in an IB setting, which gives you more latitude. It gives you more freedom.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
saying that the local curriculum, which is the JC, like, if you go to JC, you have to take mother tongue and you have to take GP. Right? That's minimum. Like, minimum
GP?
GP is general paper. That's the minimum
Oh,
English they have to take. They
that's
have
my
to take.
humans. I take GP as a human.
Everybody in JC has to take it. Local school.
I
Everybody.
see.
Everybody. Right? So
I mean,
everybody
it's
has.
something else. It's global perspectives,
You can argue that. You can
like
argue.
social
It's
studies.
which
I'll
is.
probably take that in IB
I
because we
think
have to take one humans.
I'm sensing that you don't mind certain stuff lah. I'm really sensing that like you don't mind certain
Like
humanities
like
or reading based subject lah.
GP is
Right.
TOK. Is basically just
Yeah,
TOK.
really. I don't know that really.
Global
They are
perspectives, not like the
true. You are supposed to have certain global perspective in certain subjects that you decide to write on the exam lah. Supported with good data and argumentation. I mean,
yeah.
if you want to take it, that's not bad. That's not bad. Now,
Yeah, even in last year I thought I'd take econs or business studies,
mhm,
but I didn't know. I
mhm,
took GP.
mhm.
I mean, it's not a bad choice. Like GP is quite good.
Yeah, especially if you think that you may enjoy it, it is good lah, because then you do get something out of it. I mean, the horizon expansion lah. You do get to at least think like that, right? You do
Yeah,
at
and
least get
and
to.
like I talked about my teacher being compatible. Yeah, my GP teacher is quite like my type of
Um,
teacher.
no one, really no one. Really. Now, I don't know about the changing of class, okay? I don't know about the changing of teacher. That's probably hard to do. But the subject choice in IB, I can definitely, that's something you have to aim for. So I can understand, right? Let me just confirm one more time that being able to take HL Bio, HL Chem is a benefit, not a burden to you.
Yeah,
All right, understand. Clear.
if I suffer, I'll suffer. I'll have
Yes.
to. I mean,
Right.
it's 2 years. What's the worst that could happen?
Um,
Oh, that laugh.
but it is true. HLs are choosing your suffering and choosing the benefits. You will suffer no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, just
If I
don't
took
think
HL
that
any other subject, it would still be bad.
even worse. So
Might
let's
as well
say
take a subject that I like.
yes, because it will be bad, but you will get something out of it. At least that's what you will feel like. Right? If not, you will really suffer for the lack of progress and meaning in life. I'm not joking. That's really how it feels when you choose the wrong HL. Plus, you cannot change one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot change halfway. Sorry,
Not
I
like
want to change
IG,
my. Yeah,
where
you
you can
can't.
like
Or drop
switch.
it. Like triple science. I want to drop my triple science. Actually, maybe your school allowed, right? Maybe, right? Hey, I want to drop
Somebody
physics.
did, yeah.
right? You can. In IB, forget it. You're not allowed to drop or change anything. Sorry. That's why the suffering is unavoidable.
It's
That
full and
suffering will
final.
make sure that you won't continue it in university. That's guaranteed.
Yeah,
Like for example, if for some reason, oh my goodness, HL Chem is just not my life, right? Then you suffer through 2 years, right? It will ascertain you that you will not chase after it in uni. That's the result. That's the result. But I don't think that you will be like that. I don't think. I think you'll probably be
yeah. And
okay. Mm-hmm.
like after IB,
Mm-hmm.
it's like really confusing what to do because I could go overseas,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be expensive, like way, way too expensive.
They're comparing with the local U, is it? Because of the PR thingy, isn't it?
Yeah, but like
Um,
even a local school, if I don't get PR by that time,
mhm.
I mean I probably would, but you never know.
I went to local U as a foreign student, right? Local
Yeah,
U
it's like it's
first,
more
right?
expensive than I think if a citizen.
Not really. I'm not talking about triple or double. No, it's like 20 to 30% more. Seriously, it's
Oh,
not that
I
big
see.
of a difference between a PR and a foreign. It's
And
not.
I feel like I mean I don't know. It's like I don't know. I have no idea. Like
Um,
save money is best.
put it this way. Put it this way. It's hard. It's it's hard to get an education on uni level, yeah? Better than Singapore because Singapore is reasonably good. It's hard to get a better, for example, medical school. Okay, let's say you're aiming for medical school, right? So you have two choices, right? NUS and NTU lah, right? Local U one,
Yeah,
right? It's really hard in medical school. That one I can say already. It's really hard to get a better education overseas. You can lah, but it's very hard considering the standard in Singapore. And I mean that in
yeah.
a
I feel like
positive way.
for
I
a
mean
good education overseas, you need to be extremely good.
extremely good. So there's a price to pay, right? There's a
Yeah,
price to pay. I'm not talking about the cost yet. I'm just talking about your preparation for overseas. There's a price to pay. Having said that, getting to the university in getting the local U for medical studies is also not easy at all. It's also not. It's
yeah,
very highly sought. So you might end up going overseas to admittedly a uni which is less great than NTU and US and pay more simply because of the competition. That is, you must admit to yourself first, that is a plan B lah,
yeah.
or plan C, depending on how you see it.
I think
Depending. Mhm.
like I don't know, cause I was if a scholarship is possible, then it would be great.
Mhm.
But again, you have to be exceptional.
Yeah.
And if like it's an MOE scholarship, I do not want to be a teacher for 5 years.
No, no, no. No, 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 no. I think for MOE scholarship, I think there's a misunderstanding. I might be wrong. Oh, MOE. You mean Why would you take an MOE scholarship if you want to be a doctor? That doesn't make sense lah. No, it
No,
doesn't make
like
sense. What are you talking about?
a lot of my like cousins,
Mm-hmm.
they also wanted to be like doctors and nurses, and MOE was like, okay, like we'll give you a scholarship, but you
To
gotta work
study
for
medical
us.
studies, and then you have to
But you
work as
gotta
a
teach
teacher.
like yeah, you gotta teach like primary school science.
No, no, that doesn't make sense. No, no, seriously, that doesn't. That, no, 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 no. Shut, 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 shut. Whoosh, ha, ooh, nonsense. Okay, nonsense. You watch The Good Doctor, lah. There's some accurate stuff there. Okay, you know how the doctors start as interns basically in the pediatric surgery, right, department.
Yeah, yeah.
That is, after how many years of study?
6.
Uh, wait, Singapore standard. Let me think. No,
What was
surgeon
it
is a
for?
specialist. Surgeon is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
specialist. Pediatric surgeon is a difficult specialist to go in. And you study first before going to pediatric surgeon.
I
Then you
think it
have
was
to
like
do the internship. And
4 for
then,
medicine and then
yeah,
2 for
no,
specialization.
no. Local you 5 years. 5 years. First day is 5 years. 5 years plus specialization, either 1 or 2 years. Okay, so let's take your number. Let's say 6 lah, or maybe 7. Right? Not because you're slow. And then you get to be an intern, which is
Mm.
another 1 or 2 years before you actually may lead your own surgery. If let's say you want to be a pediatric surgeon, of course, that's very specialist, of course. And then on top of that, you teach for MOE for 5 years. What bloody nonsense! Okay. What bloody nonsense! If that kind of scholarship exists, don't take it. The sacrifice is not worth it.
Yeah, I mean they didn't take it. They got some scholarship from another university overseas. I think it was
Something
Australia.
like that. Something like that. Something like that. Really. Something like that.
Then they
Now,
have to work in the hospital for
yeah, that
five
makes
years.
sense, right? No, that one makes sense. What?
Yeah.
How does teaching primary school have anything to do with working as a specialist? I, for the love of me, I don't get it. Even if you want to be a pediatric surgeon,
I don't know. I might have confused my
yeah.
cousin
Maybe you have to read the fine print. It doesn't make sense. Really, it doesn't make sense. Teaching in a
because I have
university
so
totally
many
different.
cousins. I think there was a cousin who didn't know what she wanted to do. So and we was like, you work for
Right.
us for a while, you figure it out.
Simple, no? Yeah. You figure out later lah. You just sign this contract, work for us first lah. Then you think that is not a benefit, that is a sacrifice. I'm not sure whether she knows that lah. That is a sacrifice, not a benefit. For a person who don't know what she wants to do, that might seem like a benefit. Right. You always pay for not knowing certain things. You always pay. Just choose your sacrifice properly. Now, we're getting into practical territory, right? Okay, you have your idea about medical studies. Then you suddenly mention scholarship, right? Which to earn with an exceptional result. And it does mean exceptional, right? To earn exceptional results, there is a lot of sacrifice to make. A lot.
Yeah.
Let's get this very clear first, just out of the gate. You want scholarship because it's better not to pay for your education, or is it some other reason?
No, I mean like I just like don't want to.
Burden your parents?
No, I don't want to pay for my like. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to burden my parents, but
No,
even
which
if I get a
one?
scholarship, they're gonna have to pay a little bit because
True, true. And we know that medical studies are long and hard, and of course, it involves a lot of money. That's that's
yeah,
that's just a very practical fact of life, because it is very difficult to train a doctor. It is very difficult. Be very clear first that it is because of that, not because the school is scamming you,
yeah,
right? I mean, I don't even know how much money they have to pay to get a steady supply of bodies to operate for, I think, second year students. Their first.
yeah. Our
Yeah.
bio teacher was talking about next year how the Air Force had to cut up some lambs lamb
Yeah,
hearts and
yeah.
stomachs and stuff,
It's only
and
lamb.
it costs like
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
still costs a lot to keep it like
Correct,
fresh.
correct, correct, correct. It's almost exorbitant, but nobody is scanning nobody. It does cost a lot. Nobody is scanning nobody.
Yeah,
Now, you're facing the facts of life, right? You know that studying medical studies is likely to be this, and that, and that. Now, if it is possible, get your thinking clearly right now. If it is possible, you don't want to pay, if possible, or because you're a cheapskate, know
yeah.
yourself, right?
Like
Or
my dad is like, I mean,
cannot,
if you
cannot. This is a bit difficult to pay out of my own pocket money or of my own family's money. It's a different reason, you know. It's different.
no, my dad was like, I mean, there's no need for a scholarship because he can pay for it, but I mean, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
I
You
understand.
know,
If you could
like
make
have
it,
the
so
money.
your parent is saying that if you could make it, I'll pay for you, right?
Yeah, they were
Correct.
like, I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying.
like it. It depends on my grades because if I get into like a really bad, I
Mhm.
mean, not a bad like it's not can be a bad
Uh-huh.
medical school,
Right.
like
Mhm.
not a good medical school,
Right, right, right.
but
Mhm.
like I mean, it wouldn't be happily given, would it?
Right. Can I be honest about the scholarship and payment thing? If you want, if you don't want,
Yeah, sure, go ahead. I mean,
I'm not going to say something nice.
oh, it's fine.
You sure okay? You okay? Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So you're paying something like for hopefully knowledge lah, relevant knowledge. Hopefully lah. I'm not saying this out of spite. Yeah. I'm not saying something that doesn't sound nice out of spite or out of a spontaneous thing. Now,
okay,
if
yeah,
you be honest with yourself and hey, yeah, you know, it's better for me if I don't have to pay for my tertiary education, very important education, right? Very important level. It determines who you are as a job. Okay? Sense.
hmm
If I could, like, um, most of the time, not all, most of the time, those kind of people don't do well in their education. It's not the university's fault. It is their fault because they want something very important, but they are not willing to make the sacrifice, or rather to make all the sacrifice necessary. That is the root of the problem. Serious.
Wait, wait. What do you mean by those who?
Okay.
I didn't get it. I didn't get
Let
that.
me give a very concrete example, right? A very concrete example. I'm an Indonesian, right? I
Yeah,
didn't grow up in Singapore, right? So I didn't came here by myself. You know, there's a group of my friends lah, also from Indonesia. You know, there's that selection and everything that was happening in 1999. That's like how many years ago? 23 years ago, right? So that's where we were selected to attend NTU lah, right? I actually I actually gotten a scholarship for medical studies, but that's in Indonesia. And then they don't have that kind of option in Singapore. So I forego my scholarship in medical school in Indonesia for a chance to study, and I have to pay in Singapore, NTU back then, in mechanical engineering. To be fair, mechanical engineering is a close second in terms of option. Right? So I don't mind studying mechanical engineering or any other engineering. I do like mechanical engineering. Right? Still do. Okay. So that was mine. So I obviously did not go to NTU with a scholarship. However, I cannot pay. Most, no, sorry, not most. more than 50% of Indonesian students that went to Singapore back then and still now actually cannot pay for their education at that point of time. Cannot, including me. The reason is very simple in my family, for my family. We didn't come from a well-to-do family. Very simple, right? So back then, getting a scholarship in a university in Indonesia was actually a good thing in terms of, payment-wise, in terms of financial consideration. Hey, Lama, come NTU. I mean, you can imagine having to study in Singapore is more expensive than having to study in Indonesia. You can easily imagine that, right?
Yeah.
So how did that work out for me? Do you have any idea?
You got a scholarship here?
No.
Oh,
Just be very clear that I did not get a scholarship, and I did graduate slightly faster than the average, and I still continue to my master's. You understand what's a master's? It's like a specialist, like in the bachelor
yeah.
study, right? And I did graduate in master's without scholarship, strictly speaking, also. And then here's the hint. And then I start to pay. And then I start to pay. That was the solution given to me and most other students from Indonesia, because remember, we cannot pay. Because most of us don't have a scholarship when going to NT. Again, can you guess what the solution was?
Borrow.
Sorry, what?
Borrow.
Yeah. Loan from who?
The bank.
Yeah, which bank?
OCBC.
Let me see. Oh yeah, back then it was OCBC. Yeah. There's only the OCBC office counter in NTU back then. Why would an OCBC bank loan to me, a foreign student with no background in Singapore at all? Why?
So you work for them.
No. I cannot work for ICBC, but I'll just be paying OCBC, which I did. But why would they trust me? Meaning to say, the loan
Because you got a
amount
scholarship
was
in Indonesia.
no, doesn't count. Doesn't count for them. I mean,
Oh,
what value would that be? The scholarship I have to abandon, by the way. So that's not vouching for my ability to pay. They don't necessarily care that I can study. They do care about my ability to pay for a loan. That I hope that makes sense.
yeah.
Back then the loan amount was 30,000. Whether big or not, consider that they have to consider me. Are you capable of paying 30,000 or not? Like something like that, right? Plus interest, yeah, correct. Right. Long story short, because the university guarantee, not guarantee. Okay, that's the wrong word. The university was my guarantor, kind of.
Oh,
So who is backing me in front of the bank? The university though. So it's almost as if the bank is loaning to the university for my sake. I'm still the one paying it.
oh yeah, I see.
Right. Okay. So that was the arrangement, not made specially for me. Don't misunderstand. That's the arrangement for all foreign students. Because of course, almost all foreign students cannot pay. Of course.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
we pay after we work. So we have to make sure we graduate, right? Makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Don't graduate, cannot work, man. Cannot work, cannot pay,
yeah.
right? What happens that you don't go to prison when that happens? What happens that you immediately just go out of Singapore and you will never be able to enter Singapore again? Simple. You just escape, though. You can escape back to your country, man.
Yeah.
Now, for the obvious fact that I'm here, I did complete my payment and back then on time. Just to be clear, right?
Okay.
Right. How does that compare with some of my friends who did have a scholarship? How does it compare? Do you have some guesses?
They couldn't pay it back.
Scholarship, you don't pay back. What
Oh,
talking about? They can threaten your scholarship if you don't do well in the studies. They can. They probably should. But whatever you have gotten, you usually don't have to pay back. They can just terminate midway if it is so bad. If it is so bad.
Oh, like scholarship in Indonesia.
No, there is no scholarship in Indonesia back then that pays for education in Singapore. At least not back then. At least not back then. At least not for Chinese. I don't know whether you know the history, but back then when Indonesia is more racist than right now, paying for a Chinese education is unheard of. Anyway, so.
I don't know.
Compare the result or make a guess of make a comparison in your mind, just making a guess, right? How did the result of people who have to pay compare to people who have scholarship?
Those people who have to pay is higher because they need to graduate.
Well, in order to work, scholarships, scholarshipers.
I mean, they do average.
Yeah. In average, though, there are definitely scholarshipers with exceptional results. They are really the ones who the scholarships are aiming for. But consider your incentive. If you don't have to pay for your education, would you do as well?
No, I wouldn't really care.
Yeah. So if you're a cheapskate for your tertiary education, I stay away from you when you become a doctor. This is fact of life. If I could just know your mind, nobody can know other people's mind that well unless you're open. You were open to me back then. But if I know this doctor was a cheapskate back then when doing education, I stayed off him. Really no. There is little guarantee that he did his best during his studies.
Yeah, that's valid.
Okay. I suppose I have some. I've earned my right to say don't be a cheapskate by the virtue of me paying for my education with interest. I guess I earned that. But I'm not saying that to be morally superior to you. I'm not doing that. I'm doing that for the sake of future Aditya. It's very weird how scholarship is regrettable in a certain case. It's very weird, but that's how it works.
I see, yeah.
Especially if you could have paid. I'm not saying that if you earn the scholarship, that's totally different. Right? If you earn the scholarship, you are not a cheapskate.
You're
But
just really smart.
your attitude right now is cheapskate. I'm really sorry to say that. I'm so sorry. I don't mean it in an offensive way. But if you're a cheapskate right now, how could you earn your scholarship even? You won't. That future is decided from the moment you think like that. You won't be able to earn that scholarship. That means you won't be able to get exceptional results because you're looking for the easy way out. In that sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is the case of not willing to make the sacrifice in comparison to the benefit that you're in.
I mean, I would make the sacrifice.
For what? Sorry. For what? For which benefit? Sorry.
For the fact that I will, like, I guess, know the value of the education.
So we are not talking about scholarship right now because the sacrifice that needs to be made for scholarship in medical studies is greater than simply the sacrifice you need to make to have a choice to study medical. Scholarship is on top of that for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Which sacrifice are you willing to make For which benefit again? Let's be clear.
Pay for my own studies. That's a sacrifice.
No. Your parents pay. You cannot pay. No, you cannot pay. You cannot pay. No.
Oh yeah.
No, your sacrifice is you study well, right? So that you can actually get into a good university, good medical university, right? You would want that. You would want that. You would like to earn that. And then your parents will support you by investing in you.
Yeah.
And then you will make the return of investment. It's very weird for a doctor to say this, but you do need to make the return of investment. Not for your parents. Your parents will never ask you to pay them back.
Yeah.
Make a guess. Make a guess. The result comparison between students who have to pay for themselves, like me, and the students which their parents pay for them.
People like you got better.
For reasons that are obvious.
Yeah.
In average, not for everybody. Definitely, there are stupidly good students which their parents pay for them. Then, of course, lah.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to pay for such a good student, right? Who wouldn't want that? But from parents' perspective, but you must understand that parents will pay even though their students are not good, even though their child are not good, or rather, if their child is not good, they will pay even more. They are willing to pay even more for the sake of their student, right? So as a child, you can take advantage of that, or you can do something else.
Okay.
On behalf of future Aditya, I strongly suggest that you will make the appropriate sacrifice right now and not take the easy way. Then future Aditya will look back to you right now and be grateful to you.
Okay.
We're going to meet again tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
If you think this kind of thing is useful for planning, let's continue planning tomorrow. Now, we probably won't be talking about this the same thing. We'll probably go into the details of the planning tomorrow. That will make more use, right? So let's get this clear. Today, for 1 hour, is it a waste of time to you? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I was insulting you at the end.
I know.
That's
but
worth
it's
it.
fine.
Really?
Yeah, I'll take it as constructive criticism.
Can I insult you again next time?
Yeah, sure.
Really? I have free insult. Free insult.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
You're willing to take free insult as a sacrifice. What for?
Yeah.
For what?
Because it wouldn't really, I'll accept it and work on it.
Are you sure that if I insult you more, there are benefits to come? Are you sure?
I mean, not like when I do something stupid and my friends make fun of me, kind of insult. Like I don't know how to say it, like a insult with a purpose.
You take it the way you take it. But if you're willing to make that sacrifice, make sure you are at least somewhat clear of the benefits, right? That would be nice, right? That would be nice. If not, for what? In reverse, I was saying to you, you are willing to take the benefit, but you're not willing to make the sacrifice. You are a cheapskate. But don't do that. Because then you wouldn't get the benefit. That's how life works. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure of that, considering what I've seen in life. Pretty sure. One more
Okay.
time, huh?
Yeah.
Whenever there is a choice in life that seems to offer you all the benefits for none of the sacrifice, your alarm should be sounding. You shouldn't be salivating. I really mean it that way.
Okay. Yeah. I understand.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. See ya.
Right. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.